constitutional arrangement was that it concentrates too much power in the hands of one person, the Prime Minister. That's why we have a constitutional reform. Now instead of what we are seeing is the super concentration of power in one person by combining the power of the President with that of the Prime Minister in a position in which in reality produces a constitutional emperor ruling by decree, where not a damn dog must be allowed to bark, certainly not a rum Rottweiler or a ramjack. I thought this was nonsense. I thought this was educating. Oh, he hasn't heard us, or he just clear. I will come to it, and I want to come to tell you what we have been advocating. He added that in this Panday constitution, I feel some of them looking for some Panday. We added in this Panday constitution, there are no checks and balances in the system, and absolute control will be vested in an executive in which the emperor controls the legislature, judiciary, and institution. Have I not just told you that what I told the Prime Minister is that there must be a separation of powers between them? I just don't tell you that. Why are these people so dishonest? Why? Top Deputy Political Leader Prakash Ramadan, who criticized the move, saying what people want as such is a fixed day, a specified term, a fixed election day, a specified term of office for a Prime Minister, as well as the right of recall, which is not included in the documents. Because we mean this document. Now, first point is, you cannot have a fixed date for election under the British cabinet system. Because the Prime Minister is at any time entitled to call an election under that system. Anybody who read the first few pages of political philosophy will know that the only way you could have a fixed date for election is to have a presidential system. That is to say, the president office will come to an end on a certain date, 4 years, 5 years from now. And then we'll hold elections. Under the present system, the Westminster cabinet system which we operate, you cannot fix a date. If you fix such a date, a Prime Minister will not be able to say, I have lost confidence of the people. I go on. I'm going to hold elections to see if I have the confidence of the people. This line exemplifies a total ignorance of a knowledge of the British Westminster system under which we operate. And the right of recall, of course I believe in the right of recall. But you know, what I found strange about this whole thing was that instead of criticizing, using the occasion to criticize the meeting, why did they not come out with their own proposals? That's right. Say what you want as in the Constitution. We have not heard a single word of what they want in the Constitution. Let me read the rest of this because I want to put a lie to right. Our proposal on constitutional reform, which we also totally have tried to say. We agree that there must be an executive president, like the executive president of the United States. And that executive president will be elected by the entire electorate on the basis of one man, one vote. How many times must I repeat that so that these dunderheads will understand what I'm saying? What Mr. Manning is saying in the working document is that the president will be elected. First of all, he said, we will, from the time the Constitution comes into being, he becomes the president. Then the first thing he says, he would have done it. And then he said the president should be elected by electoral college of parliament, which he controls. We say we don't agree with that. And we say that when the president is elected by the people, the president must not belong to the parliament. Separation of powers. See the argument coming? Yeah. And the president must be entitled to select the best people in the country, best men and women, to form his cabinet. And them too must belong to the cabinet. And them too must belong to parliament. And when he does that, that's like the American president. Manning has more power than the American president. And this fool who said that in our proposal, we combining the president with the prime minister. We have no prime minister in this system, we have a president. And when the president elects or selects his cabinet, that is his cabinet, that's the executive, they will run the government. But he must come to Parliament every year with a plan, a detailed plan of what is going to be his plan of running the country in the ensuing financial year. And he must come to the Parliament and ask the Parliament for money. Now under the present system, Manning asks for the money and Manning grants the money. Because there is no separation of powers. So he controls the government and controls the parliament. We see the council, we buy nothing. Or he might tell you buy nothing at all. Come there, he puts all kind of foolishness, and he has the majority, he passes it. And when he finishes passing it, he takes up and tells the budget and he throws it and he wants to buy a blame. Yes and no problem. That is because there is no separation of powers. The American president, the president I'm talking about, is one who will not belong to the parliament. His cabinet ministers will not belong to the parliament. He prepared this budget, so to speak, and now he comes to a parliament in order to get approval of this budget and monies to spend. But the parliament I'm talking about is not the present parliament. The parliament I'm talking about is a unicameral government, a parliament of one house, a house of representatives, say, that consists of between 90 and 100 members, all elected on the basis of proportional representation. That's the difference. So when Mr. President comes to the, and proportional representation will mean that smaller parties will be able to get votes. Interest groups will be able to, seats, will be able to get seats. So the parliament is made up of several interest groups coming together. It makes for greater participation in the political decision-making process. So that when he comes, one party, for example, may say we are the party of the farmers in this country. Just for example. And they get seats, because they get a certain number of votes, they'll get a certain number of seats. And Mr. Manning, or Mr. President, whoever he is, comes to the parliament asking for support for his budget and for money to vote. And the farmers say, hey, wait a minute. You are not near about farmers. We're not supporting it. That is what will happen under the new constitution of the United States. So that the president is forced to put in his budget something for everybody. All groups. For farmers, for workers. The workers may decide that they're going to have a workers' party. What's wrong with that? That's their right. And they may get members in parliament. And when they get members in parliament, and they have a budget that does anything but workers and all, the workers' party says, we're not supporting this budget. That is why the American president is forced to satisfy the interest of the greatest number of groups and interests in order to get his budget passed. That is the separation of powers.